they gonna hear?
What in the world? Oh boy. You didn't do the heart, Naja.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that it? It never does it for me. See? I ain't got no nails on. It don't. Oh, there you go.
See, there you go. It like you. It likes you.
Yeah.
Hey, so he likes it. You know, remember that commercial?
No.
You was nowhere near thought of because I was little, young.
So
hey,
why would I remember
Kiana. I don't know. Hey, Kiana, thanks for joining us tonight. You know what? I didn't do the highlight. Daggone it. Hold on a second. And I can't put it in either, can I?
No.
I wonder if I can put it. Nope,
the end?
I can't even do it in the comments, can
Probably after you get done.
I? Oh, Lord. Hey, Shakira. Hey, everybody. So, we're going to get started because it is 7 o'clock. Share the video so that we will grow. Do me a favor. Put highlights in the comments and maybe it'll go out to everybody because I forgot to put highlights when I came on. So, I don't know how I forget that every single week to do the highlights. So, anywho, share the video so that we can grow, you guys. Go to my website, NichelleSmith.com. Everything will be up and running by July 1st. We'll have our own little community like Facebook within my website so we can bounce ideas off of each other and grow. How are you, ma'am?
I'm really good. You know, work went by really fast today. I was appreciative.
All right. How was your weekend?
My weekend was amazing. I actually did nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
I didn't go out. I didn't do nothing. I learned the Tamia line dance. I learned halfway through.
I gotta get myself together. I need to stop frowning because I'm so old. These wrinkles is gonna start staying. Lord Jesus. So Father's Day was good for you, even though you're not a father. You did, you know.
Yeah, I'm a single dog mom, so I play both roles.
Gotcha.
Let me stop playing. But no.
Right, I gotcha.
Yeah, my Father's Day was good. You know, talked to my dad. You know, we went over to Royals and spent
That was
time.
good.
Yeah, it was.
That was good. Hey, can you guys share the video and put highlight in your comments for me? Because I sure forgot to share the video. Naja, where's your phone at? Why don't you do it? And I didn't even tag you in it. Hey, Mama. So we are going to get started tonight. We are going to talk about queens recognize kings. And so that's not just for romantic relationships. It's for whenever, you know, work relationships or whatever. I know a lot of times people say, thank you, Shakira. People say that Black women don't really respect Black men. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's really true. I think that Black women love Black men. Yeah. I really do.
I sure do.
I everybody that I know, all Black women that I know, they love Black men. And just because you are a female or you're a woman, it doesn't necessarily make you a queen. And so in the same aspect, just because you are a man, it doesn't make you a king. And so in growing up, hey, Lynn, so, you know, growing up, we were not always taught how to have relationships and how to respect each other and things like that. And so tonight, I want to kind of talk about the ways that you can identify a king. Mm-hmm. So something you want to hear about?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to say it's kind of funny because I think I had this conversation not too long ago. I think over the weekend in some.
Hey, Sherry.
In some capacity. So
you did?
Yeah.
What y'all talk about? Y'all be having good conversation.
You know, I be thinking, you know, me and my intellectual friends, you know.
Yeah, you know, young, educated folk.
Yeah.
So what was y'all's spill on it? What was y'all's take on kings and queens?
And so I had one conversation in terms of men in the Black community of how it is okay for them to have some sort of submissive energy, and how, you know, from the time a young man is born, he already has this expectation and this mask ready for him to wear. You know, from a young age, little boys are told they can't cry. They're told to, you know, be tough, don't tell on nobody. You know, if they show too much affection, stop that. We don't do that. And it causes them to, you know, as if they act a certain way, they're automatically either labeled as soft or gay. And how, you know, in the Black community, you know, specifically, because that's what we were talking about, you know, it is okay for men to show submissive energy in terms of, you know, their mental health or showing affection to others, even like their male friends or male family members. Like, I don't always have to be like, you know, if Royal tries to go to dad or whatever, like, hey, you know, I'm really feeling like some type of way, and dad be like, don't do that, you know, you're a man, figure it out. And so having that kind of like, you know, self-love and soft, I want to use soft because soft is such a bad word to use,
but it's really not. I mean,
when it comes to men, yeah,
when it comes to men, but I think they need to understand the lingo, because us as women, as queens, sometimes you need your man to be soft. You know, you need him to understand how to effectively communicate with you and understand some things about you, you know, as a woman. And sometimes it doesn't always call for you to be the hardest person.
Yeah, I agree. And so we talked about it in that sense, because I do, especially with June being Men's Mental Health Month. You know, I feel like there are a lot of men who would benefit from self-love and going to therapy or using self-love tactics or techniques to help with their mental health, talking to somebody, maybe a older gentleman or something like that, so that way they are not bottling it up inside and wearing this mask, because they think that that's how a king should act. And then I also had a conversation about you know, being submissive and letting a king lead you, but you know, my biggest thing is always, well, where are you trying to lead me? It doesn't make sense.
And that's what people say. I literally heard a man say, a man doesn't have to have a plan.
Yes, he does.
Well, I don't understand what do you mean by that?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Even if you don't have a lot of money or whatever, you still have to have a plan as to where you're going, because I can't submit. Submit means to come under the mission. So, hey, Sharita, so I can't submit. I can't come under the mission if you don't have a mission.
Yeah.
You know, so it's things like that people say that make no sense, and it's not biblical. Everybody knows I believe God. I believe everything from Genesis to Revelation. So, you know, if I'm doing something and I see something in that book that contradicts what I'm doing, I got to change what I'm doing. So with that being said, at my age, I want to make sure that my daughter understands how to look for a king, and not that I know everything. But you know me, if I start thinking about something, I'll start doing some research to try to understand. And so where a king is concerned, he has to love God. That is the biggest thing that is needed. He has to love God. Now, that doesn't mean that he's so well versed. Hey, cousin, that he's so well versed in the word. You know, because you can X people out for things. You know, when you hold them to such a high standard, you can X people out. And we're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to build our relationship where God is concerned. We're all trying to do better and be respectful. But as long as you know that he loves God, well, first of all, in order to point out and figure out if you're dealing with the king, you have to have a relationship.
Yeah.
So you can't ask him to do things that you don't even know anything about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so where a queen is concerned, she's always going to have a relationship with God first. So that means that she can discern what is in this man that she's dealing with. And you know, like I said, when you meet a man, as long as he loves God, he can know one scripture. But if that one scripture causes his heart to grow and for him to search, you know, and try to be the best man that he can possibly be, then you work with that. If you work with any potential, it would be spiritual potential. period. Because number one, if he loves God, then there's a way that he can love you. If a man doesn't understand, doesn't know, doesn't love God, he will not love you. Yeah. He won't. I don't care what you say, what you do. Women can say whatever they want. He's not going to love you if he does not have some sense of love where God is concerned, because you have to understand what real love is. Number two, he has to have character. And remember, I'm saying all these things, your discernment is key. And so for our discernment, we have to have a relationship. Like I said, we can't expect them to do something that we're not doing. And so that relationship that you are building with God, that makes your discernment a little bit more keen in everything that you do. And so anytime that we're doing anything, I don't care if it's 2 seconds. If I'm doing something, I'll pray, especially if I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. God, show me what to do. And that's a whole prayer. That is a whole prayer. It takes 2 seconds to say, hey, God, tell me what to do. It's just as short as saying, hey, Nigel, tell me what to do. You know what I mean? And so whenever you're dealing with someone, whenever you come in close proximity, you're having a conversation, you think you might like somebody, you think they might like you. God, all right, show me what to do. Show me who this is. Show me, huh?
I be praying that he take him out of my life, not just be.
You pray what?
I said when I pray that prayer, he be taking them out of my life.
Well, but the thing about it is that lets you know he loves you, because if they're not right for you, and that's the thing, that's what I want young ladies to understand. A lot of times, what I'm seeing is young ladies y'all be auditioning. No. We ain't doing no auditions. We not doing that. And it's a lot of guys that run around here and say, hey, I'm the prize. And I understand what they mean by that, but it's not biblical. We're the prize. And so you have to carry, as a queen, you have to carry yourself as such, so that you can be labeled that prize. But at the same time, when you pray and ask God, hey, God, show me if he's the one, God loves you so much that he's not going to allow you. God loves you so much that if he's not the one, take him out of my life. Don't let me spend 30 years, trying to deal with something. Right. Don't be auditioning. I ain't trying to audition for nothing. I'm going to be a good woman, but I'm not auditioning if you ain't trying to, we ain't trying to do nothing.
It'd be next day service, I swear.
Yeah, I like that about God for you. I love it, because I be praying it too. Don't be bringing no knuckleheads over here. I ain't got time for that. Yeah, and the next day they be gone, and I be like, what?
That's what I said, next day service.
I can't. No, good. Don't allow these folks to waste your time. Time is precious. Do you know you can't get that back?
No,
you can't buy time back. You can't borrow it back. None of that. It's precious. Boy, bye. Get out of the way. So Mr. Right can come in my way, because if Do the Fool is still here, Mr. Right, he can't show up.
No boyfriend stop me from my husband.
Boy, see, she already ain't right. We got to have a whole bunch more episodes. God, just let me have some fun. Well, that's what he's doing. He's moving the clowns out the way so you can have fun. Okay, Shakiria. Girl. So, yeah, ain't nobody got time to waste. For me, I got way more time behind me than I got in front of me. I ain't got time to be playing no games. I be done killed somebody now.
Lord.
So, yeah, time is just that precious. So, you want this man, you can spot a king because his love for God and his drive for his relationship with God, for that relationship to be better. Now, like I said, don't ask for something that you're not doing. We got to keep going back to that for the people that just joined in. You also have to be building a relationship where God is concerned, so that discernment can work in you. Number two, he has to have character. Listen, don't be sending no simpleton.
Yeah.
Let's not do that, because most of the women that I know on here, y'all, are so not simpletons, and so he's not going to make it. And so, most kings are not simpletons anyway, because they're leaders. You cannot be a leader and have no character. So you want to look for character as well. You want to also look for someone who knows his self outside of you. You know what I mean? There are some guys that, they have women, they have girlfriends, and they're codependent. They can look really strong looking at them, but they're very codependent. He has to be comfortable in the skin that he's in, you know. So that's independence, that's confidence. He needs to he needs to have confidence. And then what is that, number 3? Number 4, the softness that you were talking about. That's why I said softness is not a bad word. Black men have made that a bad word, being soft and you soft. Well, there's a time and a place for everything. And when men are dealing with their daughters, hey, Amaya, when they're dealing with their daughters, they have to have some level of softness. When they're dealing with their wives or girlfriends or whatever, you have to exude some level of softness in order to even be able to conversate or connect and have some type of chemistry. So those are the things. They have a sense of self, a sense of self, meaning always be adding to his self. I say for myself, I don't know everything, but I pride myself in trying to know a little bit about a lot of things. And so most kings, that's what they do. They know a little bit about everything so that they are able to lead. Yeah. I mean, you know, you want somebody that if you don't know, can I bounce it off of you? And even if you don't know, can we Google it or chat GPT and have some interest in that way? Hey, brother. And have and have some interest. Now you know what, and I'm not saying it just because that's my brother. He is a man who knows a little bit about everything. You know what I mean? So you very seldom do you go to him and you say, hey, you know, such and such and such, and he'll say, and just be done. That's not a king. That's not a leader. A king is not just get ready to say, and go sit down. You know, so you have to pay attention to all those things, you know, when you're looking for a king. So what do we say to start off with? He has to love God.
Yeah, he has to have character.
He has to have character.
He has to know himself.
He has to love himself.
Soft.
And he has to have a softness about him. And I know John might debate me on that, but softness does not mean weak. It means that you're able to tap in and you're able to understand the weaker vessel, which would be the woman.
I feel like softness can even go into just having emotional intelligence.
Girl, that's why I keep you around. That's why she on the podcast. Emotional intelligence. You know, you have to know when to back down from a disagreement. You know what I mean? You have to know when to back down or to stop what you're doing if your partner is having a bad day, or if your partner is having a meltdown or whatever. Those men are not in Indy. Yes, they are. We're not speaking that. It's a whole bunch of men like that in Indy. We just, you know, we gotta find them. No, we don't. They gonna find us because what's gonna happen is we're gonna move in purpose as queens, and we're gonna be illuminated. So they gonna be like, ooh, all them women is over there at Fervent Prayer Church or on the northeast side or wherever we're going to say. And they going to find us. And that's what's going to happen. But until then, we're going to move in purpose. These men are scared to be vulnerable because they are scared we might take their vulnerability for weakness. But you know what? That's a legitimate thing for them to say. Because us women nowadays, we do too much. This mouth just be going and going and going. And then you expect him to trust you the way that you want, and you want him to tell you all of his secrets. I wouldn't tell some of us none of my secrets either, especially if you're going to use it against me. Hey, Ken, what's up? So especially if we take things and we use those things against him, I wouldn't get out there and be vulnerable either. But that comes to another point that I was going to say where kings are concerned. That man has to know that being vulnerable. Hey, Raquel. He has to understand that vulnerability plays a big part in having a decent relationship. If you are guarded, you not in it for a long time. You're just in it for a good time. You know, and that's not what we're trying to do. And kings don't even entertain things when it's just for a short period of time. You know what I mean? That's the friend zone. And so we need to keep people where they're supposed to be.
Well, I have a funny story. So I was...
Oh, Lord. Oh, Sharita.
So I've actually had that happen to me. So, like, I remember, this is when I was 23. So, you know, a lot of y'all don't know me, but Nichelle does. So, at 23, you know, I was a hot commodity. I was a hot tamale. In terms of my feistiness, I've said this before.
Who raised her? Hey, Carol.
You know, and so I will say I have been one of those ladies where, you know, I pop off at the mouth. And so, you know, I can't remember what I said to this young man. He was older than me though. And I can't remember what I said, but I said something, and he was just like, okay, you know, he was real respectful.
Aww.
And when
he had emotional intelligence. He was like this little whippersnapper.
He shut me down and never talked to me again. And my feelings was hurt.
But that's a king for you. A king is not getting ready to go in. He ain't getting ready to do all that. He just know you ain't the one. I'm just respectfully, I'm going to back on out of this,
oh
babe.
my God. Even if I said sorry, I was like,
no, because he already know you're not the one. You know, and when you say older, how much older was he?
So if I was 23, I think he was like, what, 25 maybe? Like
he was older, y'all.
Yeah.
I thought she was about to say 30 at least.
Oh no, I think you would have fainted. You know?
but the thing about it is, at 25, he did have emotional intelligence. You know, to say to himself, "Hey, yeah, she doing too much.
Yeah.
I need to back out of this." And so, as queens, we need to move in a way and operate in a way where we are respectful, whether we are in a romantic relationship or a work relationship or whatever. That just makes our community a lot better. And it changes the narrative as to how black men and black women interact with each other. You know, it's nothing wrong. That's what a lot of us women need to do. Back away slowly when men start doing much. I'm telling you, you need to join on some of our other episodes. We done talked about it back on other episodes. Yeah, you need to be on guard. You need to have discernment when you're dealing.
Discernment.
Okay, yeah, you need to have discernment. Because I'm telling you, I did not. Hi, Jason. I did not really buy into the narcissistic stuff that started going around because there was so many people that was talking about it. And a light bulb just came on recently, you know, about this. And I started researching and I was like, wait, that's what's going on. But that's a whole nother podcast. Because, I mean, we can talk about that forever because that entails witchcraft and all kind of stuff. But I just brought that up. And I said that because as women, you want to identify kings because you don't know what these people are into. You really don't. And I know I might sound like an old woman when I say that, but people wonder why that things happen to them. And it's because we as women don't take time to get to know people. Like I said, most women, when they meet somebody, oh, he's real cute. He smelled real good. And we already thinking about getting married and having the same. No, you need to give that guy time to show you who he really is. You can't go wrong being quiet. Stop telling your business. You know, women have a real bad habit of going on a date and telling the guy everything that you've been through in the last 50 years. What? Number one, he probably don't want to hear that. But number two, if he's not a king, then he's setting his board up to manipulate you because of what you've been through. But if you stop doing so much talking, I'm not saying don't be sociable, or just say and is. You know, you can be sociable, but you don't have to tell all of your business. Data is for, dating is derived from data. So you need to be getting some information from him. And then, you know, for a certain period of time, you need to watch how he moves. We are so quick to go to the sexual part of it. And then your brain gets all, you know, twisted up and you're not even looking for the red flags. But the thing about it is, you know, that is one of the most precious things that you can give. It ain't nothing more precious than that after the fact. And if you giving that up ahead of time, then, I mean, what? I'm not mad at them for saying things like, you know, if you can, what they say about the cow and the milk, whatever they say. Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free?
Yeah.
I mean, So what's the reason? And then we can't really blame it on them because if we giving it away, of course he ain't gonna say no. You know, so it's that. But you do recognize a king even in that scenario because if he's really about the right and he really wants to do things the right way, he's probably not gonna go there with you. He's probably gonna back you up a little bit. But by then our discernment has not been working. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to stay on that. But another thing I would say where kings are concerned, they should bring a calmness and they should bring comfort and they should bring assurance. That's just how kings move, you know, whether they're dealing with a woman that they know, because men can tell right up front. If you have a self-esteem issue, baby, he can spot it blocks away that, you know, you have a self-esteem issue. But even to the women who don't know themselves quite yet, a king is not going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to bring that calmness and that comfort and that assurance. Kings lead, they bring order, and they regulate chaos. I know in my life, I've had friends, you know, I've been married a long time, so I really haven't been, Shakira says that part, get the sex for real and don't even mean notice the red flags. Yeah, you know, we ignore red flags.
Yeah.
Black women are good at ignoring that. We think we can change everybody, and they potential is gonna show up. I ain't necessarily talking about you, but I'm just saying, you know, we are good at saying, well, you know, I really don't like that he cusses a lot, but you know, I can change that if I tell him, you know, I'm so special that he'll stop cussing just for me. No, I mean, well, that's fine. If you help him, that's wonderful. But at the same time, he should want to be the man that is respectful in front of a queen. And he doesn't use that type of language. So,
And one thing about men,
look, she said drive through red flags going 90 miles an hour. Yep.
I was saying one thing about men, like men, they have no problem doing things for the women that they truly like. And you know, most times women don't even have to say it. But even if they do say it, they only have to say it once for a man that truly likes that woman, for him to, you know, get that problem, because they, you know, they fix problems. And so, you know, if his lady brings a problem to him, he's going to make sure that he fixes that problem. So that way, like you said, the chaos, that problem is taken away. There's peace now.
And that's the number one thing. I cannot say that enough. If you don't feel like that your discernment is keen enough right now, that's something that you need to be praying and getting close to God about. But a man should bring calmness. He should bring comfort. He should bring assurance. Kings lead, they bring order, and they regulate chaos. If they're not doing that, you're not working with a king. I'm not saying that he cannot become a king, but you're not working with one if they don't bring those things. Kings don't want to see you struggling. They don't want to see your feelings hurt. They don't want to see you tired and irritable and things like that. They step up and they lead. And I want the men that are on here to understand that is not necessarily a financial thing that I'm talking about. Those are a lot of different things. I think the average woman, we all work hard nowadays. You know, women are bosses just like men, you know, so we got the bag just like they have the bag. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer, it's just for me. It's not for nobody else. I would like to, at my age, I would like to see that you got something going on, because what you've been doing all your life.
Okay, don't speak just for yourself, please.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. But I'm not past dealing with somebody. I mean, people have things come up in life. You know, they get divorced and you got to split up half your stuff and all that. And, you know, and I get it. You have to rebuild. I understand that. But it got to be something. You can't have been a single man all your life and you ain't got nothing going on. I just cannot do that. And then if financially you don't have anything going on, you got to understand that I'm a woman that likes to build. So if you get with me, I'm going to set you up some kind of way so you can get that stuff together. But in me setting you up, hey, Dewana, but in me setting you up as a man, you got to bring the calmness. You got to bring comfort and assurance. You got to lead, bring order, and regulate any chaos that's going on in my life. It's got to be that. That is just what a king does. So it's really not hard to figure out. You know, we all have, you know, shortcomings and, you know, maybe short tempers. I don't necessarily want to deal with somebody that's doing me like that, you know, nothing like that. But at the same time, that's the only thing that came up in my head. But of course, there's always going to be a couple things that you need to work out. You know, when people are coming together, a lot of people have kids and you got to work that out. And I would say, Naja, no deal. And I get it, because when I was your age, nope, you couldn't have no kids. I wasn't dealing with nobody with kids either. But ladies, when you're identifying a king, it's not just the outward appearance. It's not just how he treated you that first time, because he said, hey, queen, good morning, queen. Or he opened the door for you. He probably ain't opened the door for nobody in 57 years, but he just decided that's what he was going to do. And you fell for it. You was all in. You know, I just hate to see that happen. Let's see. He has a whole package to become a king. Yeah, I mean, and the same thing with us. You know, we not knocking them in and not understand.
accountability for
Yeah,
sex.
and not understanding that if you're looking for a king, you got to come with being a queen. You know, it's just certain things that you just have to come to the table with. And a lot of us don't like submission, but baby, you got to understand submission. And that's the reason why that I say, you know, don't take it so fast. Get to know somebody first, because you might not really even like them.
Yeah.
You might not want to be a part of what they got going on. And in order for you to come together with a queen, to come together with a king, you have to understand his purpose or try to help him, because our job is to be a help meet.
Yeah.
Meaning that we got to help. We got to help get these things together. And so if he's done his part trying to better himself or whatever, he's got some things that he needs you to help regulate. Because if you go to the scriptures, there are certain things. It says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. There are certain things that if that man never finds you, he will never accomplish. And that's why I say we are the good thing. If you search those scriptures, and I wish I would have looked them up so I could have them for you guys. I might post them on my page tomorrow or whatever. But there are just certain things that when that scripture talks about he obtains favor from the Lord, there are certain things that he has to meet you in order for him to do effectively. And if he doesn't, those things won't get done effectively, you know. And so kings know that. Kings ain't running around, they 80 years old, you know, still trying to, you know, holler at little young thing or whatever. That's not.
That's nasty.
Yeah, it really is. It sounds nasty to say it did. You know, so you just have to understand that there's just the certain levels that they're at when you come in close proximity with a king. You know it immediately because of how they make you feel. Even if you're not attracted to them in that way and they're not attracted to you, they still make you know that you are a queen in their presence. And there are men, Sharita, in Indianapolis that do act like that. They are true kings. And so it's just a matter of us making sure that we are aware of our surroundings, where we spend our time at, you know, how we present ourselves and things like that in order for those kings to come into our presence. What do you think as a young lady? Because I know y'all's generation is different. Y'all got y'all's own way of thinking.
No, I definitely agree. Just from the type of conversations that I have with my girlfriends, one thing that, you know, we talked about like probably a couple of months ago is changing the atmospheres that we be in, you know, because I'm not saying that it can happen, but more than likely you are not going to find somebody at the club or a bar maybe, but like in terms of going into different areas, like going to maybe, you know, art festivals, art museums, going and doing different activities that are outside of our comfort zone, to where we can interact with just different mindsets, period. Because
I will say, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, you do have to get out there, ladies. A king is not gonna break in your house. You know, or you might get lucky and maybe he's the mailman or the Amazon deliverer. I don't know, but more than likely that's not gonna happen. You know, so you need to try to get out there so that he can find you. I will say I was really pleased. I went to an event this weekend. Sharita's uncle had a fight party this weekend. And I was, hey, Niecy Pooh. He had a fight party this weekend. And he has a huge backyard. His house is like super nice. And I was so glad to see, even though everybody knows that I'm a car lover, but I was so glad to see so many black men that kind of had something going on. You know, they wasn't just talking, you got something on your lip. They wasn't just, you know, talking crazy and they, you know, driving on stupid. They had everything. They had vets and old school Cadillacs and, I mean, all kind of stuff. And they were well put together. They spoke very well. And I told Sharita I was laughing so hard because they all sat together. It wasn't like they was on the prowl and trying to find all the women or whatever. They was just laughing and catching up or whatever. And I like that. I like that they weren't on the prowl. You know, so you gotta say, oh God, here come another one. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that at all. But they all were sitting together eating. And it was so funny. I could hear their conversation, and they were talking about the outfits that the women had on. And one of the guys was like, "Now, what made her wear that? What made her put that on? And what made her friend come with her and not say that don't wear that?" As you know, so it was funny to me. I've never really heard guys have those conversations. Those are usually the conversations that we have. But it was funny to hear that they have those conversations. But it was really good to see so many black men that, you know, had something going on. Yeah. You know, so, but yeah, shut up, Sharita. So where your generation is concerned, what does a normal dating process look like for you guys? And how do you, I mean, you guys have talked about kings and queens and entertaining, you know, that, how do you guys pinpoint or how does that process work?
Well,
I think I'm scared.
You know, my generation, y'all talk for maybe about 3 weeks, and then one person ghosts the other, and so then you gotta treat you know, but I mean, I'm serious. Like, you know, you meet somebody, you might talk back and forth for 3 weeks. You might go on a date. You might not. A lot of people.
See, that's a no for me.
Yeah, I mean, but unfortunately for my generation, that's really how it is. You know, a lot of dudes these days, you know, they be wanting to link.
Now tell me, you gotta tell me the lingo because I don't be knowing what that stuff means.
And so link means they want to hang out. And so a lot of
link up. Okay, I got it. I'm with you.
And so a lot of young men, they like to link.
You are definitely more compatible with like-minded people, someone you have common interests with. Yep, you are so right about that. And we need to be honest with that. We have to have something in common in order to make something work. Not saying we have to be just alike, but something in common.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, sorry.
No, you're okay. You know, a lot of men when they ask you questions, they ask you, you know, do you have an apartment and do you have roommates? And I just felt like, you know, that's I don't know about other ladies. Me personally, don't ask me that. Because
Dominique says men don't want to get asked questions and women don't want to ask questions. And you're so right about that. But in what we're talking about tonight, that's how you identify a king or not. Because if he's having a situation, if he has an issue with you asking questions, trying to get to know him, then don't waste your time. He's nobody for you to get to know. Because like we talked about before you came on, the word dating is derived from the word data. You're supposed to be getting information so I can see if I even like you, sir. And so if you don't want to answer no questions, then we ain't got nothing coming. You can't waste my time. So we're gonna move on to the next one. That's a red flag number 1, and you're out. So anywho, go ahead, girl. I got mad at me. I'm sorry. But you were talking about, you know, how you guys might date or, you know, talk to each other for 3 weeks. I just can't not go on a date in 3 weeks, and you don't want to take me on a date.
And so, I mean, you know, that's a lot how it goes. Y'all know, you know, y'all talk for 3 weeks. Y'all know, he asks if you want to link up, whatever. Sometimes, and one thing about some men, not all men, but you know, they be wanting to link up either at your house or at his house. Yeah, and why would I want to invite you?
Boy, you don't pay no bills over here.
Why would I want to?
Right. And I'm not asking you out on a date. Don't give out personal information early on. You are so right. Because we ain't doing none of that. I got to get to know you. And if you're not asking me on a date, guys, I'm sorry if you feel some kind of way. But a king he's not tripping on that. If he really likes you, you know, and he's really respectful or whatever, I'm not asking you on a date. I am a firm believer, men say what they want. They are hunters by nature. So if they really, really want you in the right way, they will say, hey, you know, you want to go to Starbucks or whatever. Now, I will say that some of us get it wrong, because all this stuff that was on here talking about don't take me to Cheesecake Factory or whatever. Okay, well, go ahead, baby, because cheesecake got some good cheesecake. I don't know what you talking about. But yeah, I think you and I talked about that. The best date is somewhere where you can have coffee, not necessarily alcohol, you know, so that we can have an adult conversation and truly get to know people. People think sex is getting to know people now. That what?
It's truly about the effort more than it is the actual date itself. The fact that, especially, I can understand a man asking you, like, what do you like to do or what do you like to eat? But after that, one of the things that I can't stand when a man asks me, like, to ask me on a date, and he'd be like, okay, but where you want to go? What'd you ask me for? I can take myself anywhere. But, if you're asking me to go on a date, I'm expecting you. You can, like I said, you can ask me, what do you like to do or what do you like to eat? And that way, because you know your pockets, you know what you're capable of. So to just ask me, well, what do you want to do? Because if I say something that you don't like,
then you're going to be like, she's a gold digger.
Yeah, then why did you ask me?
I'm going to send out a list of stuff that y'all can say if they ask you that. Because I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go where. And what I suggest is you give more than one suggestion. And then he can pick from the 3 or whatever, so you don't, hey, Tasha, my mother says, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm putting my fingernails up here. I always said if he can't take me out to dinner, dinner or lunch, everyone has to eat. And then John says the effort and the time, that's it. I mean, really, men are hunters. If they really want to be, in your presence for the right reasons, they'll ask somebody. You know what I mean?
It's the bare minimum. Because, when it comes to dates, especially first dates, at least for someone like me, I can't speak for all women. It doesn't have to be this extravagant date because we're just getting to know each other.
That part. And that's what queens need to understand. He's not obligated to take you to Ruth Chris on y'all's first date. He's not, you know.
If he wants to.
Now I'm not going to stop him if that's what he wants to do. If you want to impress, I ain't mad. I'm here for it. But at the same time, I'm not a queen that says, we don't just run to get something somewhere. And I probably ain't going to White Castle because I don't go to White Castle myself if I'm by myself. But, I'm really, really up to, I like the breakfast date. You know what I mean? I like the fact that going out to breakfast over coffee or orange juice or whatever, we can really have a conversation. And you're not trying to impress each other. Everybody got on regular clothes. They not dressed to the nine or whatever. It's none of that. It's just absolutely not. I agree. Yep. So it's none of that. So, and I love breakfast. I can give you a whole bunch of breakfast restaurants, that we can go to. And it's not as expensive. You know what I mean? So I think that's a really...
I had a breakfast date that I loved. That's what I'm like, breakfast is,
You did? You had a good breakfast date?
I did.
Where y'all go? See, she ain't told me none of that.
Girl, yes I did. We went to Barberpool. Good Morning Mamas.
Oh yeah.
And I like because it was simple. It was out of the blue, and he was just like, "You want to get breakfast?" And I thought that was so sweet.
It is. That's real nice. That is real nice. Dawana, it seems men don't figure these things out until later in their lives. You know what? I really don't think. Raquel says I love breakfast dates as well. I don't really think it's that they don't figure it out till later in their lives. I think that the way the world goes now, men only have to do the bare minimum for the average woman. So when they come in contact with a woman who is not like that, they mess up, and they feel like, oh no, she gonna get the bare minimum like everybody else. And they mess up in that aspect. But I honestly do believe that men do have conversations
They do.
about things, and they know better. They know, if you're trying to do something for them, they know they don't want you to do the bare minimum. So if somebody knows what they want from you, they definitely know what, and vice versa. But like I said, where women are concerned, we have just made it so simple, so easy for them to do absolutely nothing. Because for my daughter to say in their generation, you could be talking to somebody for 3 weeks and y'all never go on a date. And then this fool talking about, what's your address? For what? For what? Because you're not coming over here to do nothing. Not at all. So we might as well talk about that up front. For me, as old as I am, it ain't even no 90-day rule or none of that. It's until I say, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know you enough to feel like I want to waste my time. I've spent a lot of time trying to build myself. I'm a business owner. I've struggled with businesses and done all that. I don't have time for nobody to be throwing me off my square, fooling around. I'm looking for you in the daylight with a flashlight. No, we're not doing that.
Daylight
We're not.
with a flashlight.
We're not doing that. So for me, I would rather God take them on out of my life tomorrow, rather than let them stick around, forever. It's a waste of time, and it's not attractive. So,
it's not attractive.
Yeah, it's not attractive at all. And then I don't think we as queens realize how that can really work on your self-esteem. When you run into too many of those guys, you have to be a really, really strong woman, because then you start feeling like, well, what's the matter with me? Or when it's really not you at all. It's the people that you're coming in contact with. And then you have to ask yourself, why am I coming in contact with these types of people? Am I demanding my worth? You certainly can't get your time back. That part is precious. So boy, no, and I'm going to be very nice. I might go out with you, but if I don't like you, it's a wrap. We're not going to waste each other's time like that. And so for those of you who just joined us, we were talking about the characteristics of a king. He should bring calmness, comfort, and assurance. He should lead. He should bring order and regulate chaos. Because I don't know about y'all. I work with the church people, and sometimes the chaos can be on 10. So sometimes you want to come home to somebody who's sane, who can calm you all the way back down. And I love that about a man who, who understands that, hey, not all the time, every once in a while, let me make everything about her today. As we should do for them. And when you entertain a king, then hey, this is something that I need to do, and I want to do it. Because I'm entertaining a king. I appreciate being in the presence of a king, because nowadays it's a whole bunch of whippersnappers out there. Nobody want to deal with no whippersnappers, Lord Jesus.
I feel like, one of my biggest things for me in terms of relationships is I'm very big on safe space.
Tasha said it because it's men out here like that. It is, and if we're always talking about, hey, Niecy Pooh, we're always talking about there are not good men out there or whatever, but there really are. I mean, I believe biblically you see what you say. And if we're always saying there are no good men out there, then you ain't gonna run into none. But if you're speaking into the atmosphere what it is that you want God to bring to you, then you will come into contact with that. And coming into the presence of a king, it makes you reevaluate yourself, and it makes you be better. You know what I mean? So then you can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me nothing, period.
I mean, I was trying to be nice about it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But, so, with, Darius says safe space is very important. It is very important, and hey, Shantae, I just want to hear, hey, Seaweed, I want to hear from the married women on here. When you chose your husband, what was it about your husband that made you say, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with him? And let's be honest, just like for me, when I married my husband, I was very young. I met him when I was really, really young, and he was really, really young. So when we got married, it wasn't like we were picking each other because he opened doors and, he knew how to lead. And it was none of that. It was, I mean, he could skate really good.
Oh,
baby, he can skate. Do you understand? Alabama men, Lord have mercy, take the wheel. Oh, Lord have mercy. We gonna pray for the Alabama men and the Indianapolis men. But, I'm just saying that to say, we didn't know any better. You know what I mean? He didn't know no better either. I was a young tenderoni or whatever, and I understood why, I understood why he, he's like what he saw or whatever.
Okay,
it was the way he treated me. He is such a gentleman. Now, Shantae's not lying. Her husband is, from what I see, he's a kind of laid back person or whatever, and he gonna make sure that Shantae is good. And I love that they socialize together. That you see them out or whatever, and she's free to be her. I love that about them.
That is beautiful.
Stop it. Yes, ma'am. Shut up, Dolores. When we met, we was at the skating rink, and he could skate real good. And I said, girl, he gonna be my kid's father because he can skate real good like my daddy. So we didn't know no better. So now that we have grown up, people have different, they grow apart and they have different ways of doing things. When Dennis said he wanted to call off work to witness my baptism the first night we met. Oh, that is really sweet. I didn't know that about Dennis. I guess he's all right with me. Tell him he can stay. after 20-something thousand years that y'all been married.
Yeah, that is really sweet.
Sharita laughing. But yeah, you know, so I know for me, where you are concerned, you're my only daughter, and I even pray this for my son, that I pray it all the time. Like I'm gonna be in y'all's relationships. I really do. I pray it all the time. That my kids find purpose partners. That you find someone who's gonna love you. I don't know if they can love you as much as I do, but
they're not supposed to. I actually saw a TikTok. But I've been seeing so many good TikToks lately. It was a black man, and he was talking about, in terms of black men, that the women that they date aren't supposed to have that unconditional love for you like their mom. And that, he was just like...
Wait a minute. He said what now?
The women that you date are not supposed to have that unconditional love for you like your mother. She's not your mother. And so he went on to say that, he was talking to somebody, and he was talking about some... they didn't start liking me until I started dressing better and smelling good and this and that. And he was just like, yes, they're supposed to start liking me. Why would I like you? You stink, and like...
We're headed to dinner. Have an awesome show. Thank you, Shantae.
But why would I like you when you don't...
And you don't smell good. You don't... Yeah. You want me to smell good, right?
That's what he was saying. He was like, you're not going to pick a woman who's not dressed right or whatever, who stinks, whatever. With situations like that, when you're down bad like that, yes, your mother's still going to love you because she birthed you. I didn't birth you. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have
to smell you like that, boy.
And so, I was so happy that someone said it, especially because, the guy, he's either like my age or a couple years older, but the fact that someone get it, because I'll be telling him all the time, I'm not your mom.
Right, that part. Don't get it twisted at all.
And don't want to be. Tell her position is secure. Because I'm not coming for it at all.
Now, that's one thing I can say where my son is concerned. I love him. But no, I don't want to get in between what he got going on, or whatever. And he needs to be a stand-up guy. You remember, I told him, listen, you're not about to have women running in and out of my house like that. If you're doing that, you keep that. Yeah, you keep that out there. But once you get a girlfriend, that's the only person I need to see. Because if you say that's your girlfriend, then you need to do right by her, and I'm not playing.
So I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell Aces, he had such and such in here last weekend. I don't know if y'all...
I don't know what y'all are to each other, But
I just wanted to let you know. That's what I saw. You ain't hear from me, though.
Yeah.
But that's what I saw.
Yeah. But anyway, our time is almost up. We usually stop about 8 o'clock. Thank you guys so much for joining us and, just tapping in and having a conversation with us. Let us know if there's a subject that you would love to talk about. Tonight we talked about queens recognize kings, and kings bring calmness, they bring comfort, they bring assurance, they lead, they bring order, and they regulate chaos. If you are in a relationship and you're trying to figure out if he's the one for you or whatever, if you're confused about anything in that relationship, he's not the one, and he might not be the one right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he'll never be the one, but he's not the one right now, because you should never be confused in the relationship. You should never have to ask the question, hey, what are we? Or what are we doing? Or I don't understand. If you don't understand, it's his responsibility to make you understand exactly where you stand in that relationship. And that's what
should be loving and fun. I feel like a lot of people forget that.
And this one thing, I'm sorry, hold that thought.
Interrupt me.
I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. This ride or die thing, I love you, but we love you back. Love you, Seaweed. This ride or die chick thing, we need to let it die. I mean, we need to let it die. It's not that you are not standing side by your man, but why as black women do we have to hurt and prove ourselves before
we can't
before we can have a relationship? At the end of it. Yeah, so that part, I
don't like that.
So
sounds scary.
So stop saying I'm a ride or die. Hey Lisa, I'm a ride or die. I'm not. I'm not
to cruise.
That part, and I'm not dying
at all.
Nowhere where you at? I'm the first one to get up out of there. We out. I don't want to be a ride or die. Yeah, I'm getting off the train. We're done with that. Yeah. So
somebody else.
Yeah, we could have a whole conversation about that. Hey, we could have a whole conversation about that, but. It ain't gonna be no ride or die for me.
I'll flatten the tire real quick.
That part, or turn off on the cul-de-sac, or do a U-turn or something.
Put some sugar in the tank, something. This car is not about to start.
I want the king you just described. I need that list. This is why I may be an old cat lady. Cut it out, Fallon. Nope, I'm gonna post that list tomorrow on my page, and I'll tag everybody. I'll highlight it. Because you gotta bring calmness. That to me, that is so sexy. That's why I keep saying it.
That's
what for somebody to bring calmness, I'll be like, bring some calmness to my life. Man. You gotta bring calmness. You gotta bring comfort and assurance. You gotta assure her that she's your number one girl. You gotta lead, you gotta bring order, and you have to regulate the chaos. Those are not my jobs. And for me, ladies, I just want to say, my kids are grown and I don't cook a lot. You love this, Tasha. We love you. Safety and security. I got you, so, I don't cook a lot, but I'm telling you, for the right king, baby, I got recipes on my phone. I got recipes on my phone. You understand what I'm saying? I don't play no games. You talking about Proverbs 31 virtuous? It's gonna be real virtuous over here.
I'll be so sick.
Don't be sick. Be like, what you want, girl? Quit coming over here.
I'll be so sick. Okay, girl.
You know I got a king over here.
Girl, don't make me sick.
Get your life together. That's right, Tasha. You better listen to what I'm saying, girl. So when this king comes, you won't be interrupted, ringing the doorbell and stuff.
Girl.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. Like I said, the website, NichelleSmith.com, it will be ready. It's up now, but all the things are not added into it. It's a lot of different coaching plans that are reasonably priced that you can take advantage of. There are a lot of e-classes, e-books on there that you can take advantage of. I'm not going to jail for nobody. You hear me? No, I like orange, but I ain't wearing it. Cooking, I'm going to have to call Raven. But, girl, when you get a king, when he bring calmness, you're going to be in there whipping up something.
Reading them recipes.
Yeah, I'll send you recipes. I got about 89,000 on my phone. Okay. They ready.
Maybe.
But, Nichelle the Boss TV at YouTube. I changed it to TV. Okay. Nichelle the Boss TV at YouTube. Please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that we can go live on there, because we can do a lot more things on YouTube than we can on Facebook. So, go to my website, subscribe to my website. The conversation was bomb. Join us every Monday, Tasha, at 7 p.m. I promise I'm going to remember to highlight so y'all know when we're coming on.
Or I'll do it.
But, just watch my page for all the info.
Uber,
we don't do that. No. That's worse. Nope, not at all. I told you I like cars, not an Uber.
That's worse.
So anyway, thank you guys so much. Share the video so that we can grow, and we will see you all next Monday at 7 p.m. We love you.
Love y'all. Blue heart.
Yeah, can we do it?
No. Oh, there we go.
It better do it for me. I'm the host.
Oh, wow.
Kill me. You're amazing. Right back, Lisa. Good to hear from you. What you say? Get it together. I'm going to get it together next week. Don't cook myself. So I'm learning.
We might do like a virtual cooking class one day.
Yeah, we're going to have to. You can do that. I was going to say, who we going to get? But baby, when I say my kids can cook, they can cook. Fallon, what you saying? I will make sure to tune in next week. Thank you so much. We love you back. Invite somebody. See you guys later.